So what if I told you the most censored topic on the TikTok app is not a conspiracy theory or any kind of celebrity drama? It's a place, a real place where people are being erased every single day. And you're not even allowed to say the name without risking your account. So I'm going to speak in symbols. This isn't a war. It's what happens when one of the most powerful, militarized governments in the world, with nuclear capability and full backing from Western superpowers, locks down and controls a population with no army, no air force, no defense system. This region is under constant surveillance. Airspace controlled, their water controlled, their electricity controlled. The people inside it are basically trapped. Some call it an open air prison, and they're not wrong. Yet somehow, when the people inside that prison react in desperation, it's called terrorism. And when the regime responds with overwhelming force, flattening entire neighborhoods, it's called self-defense. So let's go back a bit. Yes, a horrific event happened on October 7th. Civilians were killed. It was devastating. It's awful. But it didn't happen in a vacuum. It happened after decades, even centuries of occupation, displacement, and suffocation. And the response? Tens of thousands dead, hospitals leveled, refugee camps obliterated, journalists and aid workers targeted, children pulled from the rubble day after day after day. One day of horror does not justify 8 months of massacre. This is an extermination made to look like a war. In the media, it's not telling the full story. In the headlines, it's always retaliation. Never bombing civilians, always defending borders. Never erasing lives. We hear over and over, they have a right to defend themselves. But ask yourself, when was the last time you heard that same right granted to the ones who are being bombed? Even major human rights organizations have raised the alarm, calling this a case of deep systemic injustice and forced removal. But those words rarely make it into mainstream coverage, including TikTok. Now, let's talk about the money. Billions of dollars in foreign aid sent every year. Weapons made by American defense contractors fueling this machine. Lockheed, Boeing, Raytheon. It's a business, and war is the product. The louder someone defends this violence, the more you should ask who signs their checks. And here's something that many people still don't know. The people who are being bombed, they don't have tanks. They don't have a dome to intercept missiles. They don't even have consistent access to clean water. Meanwhile, settlers are displacing families backed by the soldiers. And thousands of people, including kids, are imprisoned with no charges. Like, there's no reason, but they're in prison. This isn't a fight between equals. This is survival versus supremacy. And the most powerful weapon of all, it's not the bombs, it's the narrative they're selling. Because if you question what's happening, if you speak out, even peacefully, you're labeled dangerous. You're spreading hate. Even if you're Jewish and speaking for justice, even if you're quoting global human rights law, there are actual teams online paid to distort the truth and discredit voices that are calling for peace. This isn't theory. This is confirmed. It is documented. So people stay quiet. They look away. They don't want to risk their jobs, their platforms, or their reputations. And that silence is exactly what allows this to keep happening. So let me be clear. Not every citizen in that powerful nation supports this. I'm not putting down those people. Not every person inside that prison supports violence either, though. But the system, the one behind all of it, it's built to erase, replace, and rewrite until nothing is left but one side to the story. So if you're watching this and wondering why it feels like something's off, it's because it is.